Good morning, everyone. Welcome to session number 7, implementing Azure Active Directory. So, Azure Active Directory is a part of your Active Directory along with the multi-factor authentication. It all comes under your app services. Azure Active Directory AAD has many similarities with Windows Server based on-premises AD, but there are some differences. One of the main differences, Azure Active Directory is primarily an identity management services rather than a classical X.500 based directory services. AAD also has built-in federation support. AAD, which is Azure Active Directory, also support multi-factor authentication through a set of free MFA capabilities for a global administrator or through a paid for MFA provider. So overview of Azure Active Directory. There are three ways of deploy Microsoft directories: on-premises AD, which we are doing from last 15 years, on-premises AD on Azure as a VM. So on-prem we are already doing. So on-premises AD, but on a Azure VM. So Azure Cloud is done with a hybrid as a connectivity. We create a virtual machine there in a cloud, and then we join with the domain and replica server on cloud. So on-premises AD is the traditional deployment of Windows Server based AD on a physical or virtual servers. And although Windows AD is commonly considered to be primarily a directory services, ADDS is only the component which we called as Active Directory, and some other components which work together with ADCS certificate services, ADLDS lightweight directory services, AD federation services, ADFS, and ADRMS right management services. So I'm not going to talk much on AD on-prem because that is already we are aware from many years. Azure AD. So Azure AD is having many similarities with on-prem, but there's no as such it's an instance of AD. It's not an actual database what we have in on-prem, which we call as entities.did. So when comparing AAD with on-prem AD, so first of all, AAD is primarily an identity solution and is designed for internet-based application using HTTP or HTTPS. It's not using LDAP ports. AAD users and groups are created in a flat structure. There is no OU and GPO. AAD does not support computer join. AAD cannot be queried through LDAP. As I said, there is no LDAP. It's always work with HTTP and HTTPS. It's an instance based Active Directory. So AAD does not use Kerberos authentication. Instead, authentication it uses HTTP and HTTPS. And AAD includes federation services, and many third-party services such as Facebook are already federated. We'll discuss in next stage. And third is, okay. So Azure AAD is designed with the two concepts: multi-tenant and scalable. Custom domains. So when you create AAD, it gives you some Azure cloud name, but we want to add as a production name called abc.com. So we have to add as a custom domain. So let's do a small demo first. Whatever the recording I have done, I am going to upload all together. So first of all, scroll down, go to AD, new directory, custom create, new directory, name is demo 1990. Is already used, so Vikas 1990. Or on cloud 1990. That's the right way. Region India. So this is first time I am creating my Azure Active Directory. So by default in ID, there's only one default directory there, and So this is my on cloud. So I am to define couple of user. By default my subscription is already a user and having global admin rights by default. So I'm going to add couple of users on cloud 1990.onmicrosoft.com. So sales user for a time being, sales 1, sales 2 and sales 3. Number 4, HR1, HR2, HR3, and sales group I am going to create, and HR group also I am going to create. So sales 1, sales 1. So global admin, billing admin. So global admin have full rights on this subscription. Billing admin can check the bills for this subscription. Service admin can talk to Microsoft for raise a service issue tickets. User admin is by default, and password admin who can reset a password. So all these users are normal users. Enable multi-factor authentication we'll do later on. So first user sales 1, password. Next is sales 2, sales 2, next is sales 3, next is HR1, HR2 as a user, so HR3, and then two groups, add group, another group called sales, okay. So now domains. So if you go to the users on cloud 1990 users, so they have email ID sales1 on cloud 1990.onmicrosoft.com. If I want, it should be a production users like sales2 at abc.com. So I have to add a custom domain. So I am going to add a custom domain, production domain, training101.co.in. So add. So it's successfully added. We have to create a txt record in a public DNS. So I already log in with my GoDaddy, training101.co.in, manage DNS. So I'll make this public entry, txt record @ so now training101.co.in. So DNS file, use classic DNS manager. I close this and directly add here, add record, txt record @ and this is the value, txt record @ this is value for 1 hour. Done. He said action needed, your changes are final until you save them, save changes. So this is done. So what is this entry actually? If I say ping training101.co.in, so it's pointing towards this domain. So successfully verified your domain, custom domain. So if this user is there or any user, now I can change my domain, production domain, training101.co.in. So this way you add your production domain. So it's easy to remember instead of cloud1990.onmicrosoft.com. So production domain is added for all existing users. We can add through a script like that. Now if you go for a new user, add users, so say HR4, you automatically get training104.co.in. So this is the way you add a production domain. So add user, edit user, delete user, reset a password, we already done, basic things, groups, management. Now second thing is multi-factor authentication. So by default user authentication in Azure AD uses password only. Azure multi-factor authentication adds a second level of authentication, require user to also use a text message over a phone or mobile or SMS. So that's multi-factor authentication. So the full Azure multi-factor authentication capabilities enable an MFA to the users, used by all users and for all global admins. So for this we need a Azure premium features. So multi-factor authentication is a part of Azure AD premium features. So that we'll discuss at later stage. Now configuring application integration with Azure AD. So single sign-on enables enables user to access software as a service applications such as Office 365, Salesforce and so on. So Microsoft already given 10,000 plus application already federated with Azure AD. So you no need to do anything. It automatically access as a single sign-on. So let's do a adding gallery application to Azure AD. So if I say application, so add application, add an application. Okay, before that what I'll do, I'll convert this on cloud AD as a AD premium. Try Azure AD premium now. I refresh this portal. Licenses free assigned. So I'm going to assign users, all users. So unassigned. So I'm going to assign premium license to all the users except my subscription account. So now 6 licenses are assigned: sales 1, sales 2, sales 3, HR1, HR2, HR3. So now go to the application. I can add, we'll get a third option, add an application from a gallery, and I can give Facebook as an example to a user. So add this application, Facebook, and Facebook users assigned to a group or group or users, say example users. So users to HR1 assign. So HR1 having Facebook access, single sign on. So I'll go to the another browser, myapps.microsoft.com. So notepad, HR1 password, HR1 at training101.co.in. we discussed production domain, and this is the password. Current password, new password. So first user HR1, they have Facebook access. So that's called your assign application to a user. Assign multi-factor, assign premium features. We'll discuss premium feature very detailed. Next is there is an option called add publish an application that will be accessible from outside your network. So add an application from the gallery. This is 10,000 application overall. Microsoft given that single sign-on access, but this is an application which is which is internal application. So what I'll do now, I have my on-prem. I have one machine, say example. Okay, I close this. I have two machines I am using this. One is domain controller, one is one member machine. So I'll show you. I have into a domain called demo.com. On a member machine, I install IAS and one simple web page, internal app. I simple make a page, put it into C, inetpub, www default.htm, So if I open this or open with notepad, so it's a simple one, default.htm. So one of the internal server, there is no relationship between cloud and this, no connectivity, nothing. So I repeat the host name, SRRAS. This is a server where we have internal app. So what I can do, I can add application, publish an application. I can publish those internal application. Name is internal app. So this is the URL to access the internal application from inside your private network. http:// inside this we can access via http:// srras. So I am just trying to publish my internal app under your Azure cloud with a normal name. For this internal app, I already enable it. By default, it's automatically enabled. So I'm going to download the connector. This connector is known as Azure AD Application Proxy Connector. Wherever your app is there, you have to run this connector. So download the connector and download. So what happened? So its application is running in on-prem, but this connector, on-prem means my one member machine. So from on-prem they create a reverse proxy and it connect to the cloud. I'll show you as a demo as a result. So right now from my normal machine, normal means I'm using one base machine. From this machine I cannot access what we call http:// sr something, I can't access this srras, no chance, because there's no connection. Okay, why this is accessible? I think we have internal link, that's the reason. So I disable that. So logically no access now. Let me refresh. So it should not have access now. I'll put it into the new browser. http:// here we go. No access because my physical machine and there's a no connection now. So now only what I have to do, I have to copy this connector and I have to run this connector inside my application server. So I'll back to my on-prem machine. So manage.windows.azure.com. I try to log in with the portal directly. So this method which I am going to demonstrate you can publish your internal application over a cloud by using a reverse proxy. Come on. So I'm trying to log in with my portal. On cloud 1990 and application. If I click on internal app, I have to download a connector. So I have to run this connector on an application machine. No need to confuse. This is my on-prem machine. Two machines I have. So I try to download that connector here. That's a problem in the Microsoft side, internet is working good and still I'll try to so 172.20 172.20.11.87. I'll try to access, copy that. .11.87. I'll enable the internet NIC, local NIC for a time being, which is for 5 minutes, and 168.10.11. I'll try to access this machine. So this is demo/administrator and password is, so on this C drive I would like to copy that proxy and then what I'll do, I'll disconnect the network between physical machine and the virtual. So if I go to this machine, routing, the member server, so I have a connector. How much is run this Microsoft Azure AD application proxy. Application proxy means from outside the world somebody comes in, access this app and then revert back to the cloud. So this is something called sync services. So if I'll draw a diagram, on-prem is running, one application is running, and we are going to publish. So they are going to do the relationship with the application with reverse proxy, and we are integrated with the cloud. So make sure global admin of your AD directory and the application proxy feature is enabled. So Actually, they should ask username and password. What I'll do, I'll try to so this is connector actually we are working on to provide a connectivity for application that running on your network. Download and install and register with this. So actually they should ask the username and password. So this one. You are a global admin. So what I'll do, go to the users, and the person should be a global admin. He is a global admin. So I'm trying to assign one user as a global admin. Let me check. Apart from subscription user, So hr1 at training101.co.in. Yes, it is. So done. So we installed on this physical machine, no problem. So go to the application, internal app, assign users. So if you go to the users, internal app I have assigned to HR1. Internal app. Wow. automatically reverse proxy they will access, and don't need to confuse, this is a physical damn different machine, so that's called your internal application which you access by cloud, and no matter you are wherever in the world you can access this. If you check with the command prompt, you can access this URL from any parts of the world. So timeout means firewall blocking, but yes. Next is AD premium features. First is company branding, group based application access. First I'll explain you two things. So company branding means I'll go to Google, go to the images, say books, McGraw Hill. This is one of the publication. Suppose this is my company logo, so I'll save this image in C drive, in pictures. So now what I'll do, onto the cloud 1990 dashboard, or first is click on configure. So customize branding, banner logo, pictures, square logo. I'll show you square logo. It comes in the square left hand side. Sign in page, copyright image, copyrighted image. For illustration also same. Background color I am not giving right now. Saving branding. The result will check after 5 minutes. Second is group based application. So I have a group, I have an application. I can assign any application from gallery or from anyone, like Citrix GoToMeeting. I can assign to a group. Add Skype. User and groups. I can assign to HR, entire group. So advantage is another user which is HR already logged in, So if we refresh, sign out. If you click on Skype users, all users, why it's saying no. For groups, assign yes. On cloud, onto the groups, onto the application, dashboard. So I can try assign accounts this way. Let's see. I'll sign out. Try to with another user hr2 at training101.co.in. hr2 current password. So that's what, McGraw logo automatically comes as a company logo, and square logo as well. So I will check this group part after 5 minutes, because it will take some time to update. Otherwise, actually I already Skype assigned to a HR, and HR we already have 3 users. So if I say groups, we don't have a members. That's the reason. Okay, so I done it. 3 users automatically. 3 users will get application access. Skype. So this is called group access. Self-service group access, very important feature. Onto the configure into the directory. User enable for password reset. Yes, user can reset a password. I am talking about password reset for a user. So user enable for password reset, yes. Restrict access to password reset, no. And multi authentication methods available, mobile and alternate email address. So at least one authentication. So this is required, to reset a password. Then notify admins when other admins reset their own password. Notify users and admins if their own password has been reset. So that's good. Now group management. Delegate group management. I enable the delegate group management. User can create security groups. Yes. So now what happened? The scenario is self-service group management. User can create a group. Say example, H1 is owner of HR group, suppose, and second HR we already assigned an application called Skype. So what happened? S2 can send a request to a owner. I want to access this application, something like that. So I'll save all this. So first of all, groups. In groups, I define one owner. H1 is the owner. Okay. So in application, I delete Skype right now. Okay, and refresh to HR2. Sign out. So because we done multi-factor authentication, so that's why this request comes to enable multi-factor authentication. So no access for HR2 because I removed Skype. So what happened? Groups. HR1 is owner of this group, and what I'll do, I'll add application now from a gallery. And that's once again Skype. Okay. So I'm not going to give to entire group. I'm going to give to user who is HR1. So what happened? Or take example, I give directly to group. So what happened? By default, all users have access to this group. So all users can have Skype application. Say example, HR1 owner. So go to the groups. So admin can create a group, HR app, and this group required owner approvals. create. So HR admin who is the owner, he can create a group, HR app. Right? And what I'll do, the Skype application I can assign to. So right now what happened, HR1 is owner of the HR group, and Skype application is assigned to HR group. So there is a Mr. Another user is there. HR app. So this application I am assigning to specific HR app group, internal group. So now salesperson. So if salesperson needs to access this Skype, they can send request to H1. Actually they send to group, which is our app group, HR-app. They no need to send to admin, you know. So you can say application level admin we are defining. So what I'll do, I have another browser, my apps.microsoft.com. So this time we try with sales 1, at training101.co.in. And go to the groups, all groups. He can join this group. I need to access this internal application. So this request refresh. HR1 is owner. Approve. Once he approved, sales oh my god, another verification. It's good actually. This is mandatory now if you done multi-factor as well as self-signing.
Please press the hash key to finish your verification. Your sign-in was successfully verified.
So you have a Skype. So that's called your self-sign. And now password reset. take example sign out sales. So sales cannot access your account if we already enabled multi-factor authentication, and so he can reset his password by own. This is a premium feature.
Using Microsoft sign-in verification system, please press the hash key to finish your verification. I'm sorry, we cannot sign you in at this time. Please try again later.
So as soon as you, how this feature comes, as soon as you go to the configure, and as soon as you enable user enable for password reset, yes, you have to enable a second level of authentication. And actually this is a part of your, I'll show you, and this is a part of your profile because my phone number is already set. Yeah, that's a new feature which I built now, verify. Otherwise you have to do this, register for, and here it's showing it's already there. So that's a feature called password reset. And finally, premium features have 99.9% SLA level. So multi-factor authentication is very useful. Suppose you reset a password or you forget your password, for a security point of view they ask you for second level authentication. So this is all about premium features and custom domains and Azure Active Directory. Thank you very much for joining this session.